Hello students, welcome to Business 301 Business Law. This is a survey course in the field of business law. We'll be studying a number of topics, including understanding ethics and the impact of the Constitution on our laws. You're not going to be an attorney when you're done with this, that's why it's just a survey course. But we're also going to be looking at tort law, contract law, sales and leasing contracts, and some of the intricacies of the Uniform Commercial Code, also known as the UCC. In this course, I want you to be able to learn about the different types of legal instruments that you'll often encounter in the normal course of business, along with the rights and the duties of all parties involved in contracts. But we're also going to be diving into labor laws that define the legal relationship between employer and employees. And then sometimes those third-party relationships that exist as well, like staffing agencies. I work for a staffing agency, so we'd be like a third party as part of that. Or labor unions as well. It would be another example of a third party. Another aspect of the law that we're going to cover in this course will be around the topic of how businesses are formed and legally recognized. So we'll be studying sole proprietorships, partnerships, and limited liability organizations, corporations, franchises, and then looking at how governments regulate businesses in the United States. Finally, we'll also be studying laws that govern transactions around real and personal property, along with wills and estates. It's all the basics you need to know to competently speak the language of business. The objective of this course is to help you learn about and know how to participate in the legal business discussions that go on each and every day in your office or your workplace. If you hear that background noise crying, that's my grandson. I'm sorry. In an online course like this, I expect that there are folks with just a little bit of business experience and some perhaps with a lot of experience, and people falling in all areas in between. It's okay. No matter what level of business understanding you have, I think you'll learn some things in this course. You know, in our world, the legal landscape is shifting all the time. This course will give you the basic fundamentals in the area of business, legal topics, so that you can understand the shifts going on around you all the time. It is those fundamentals of business law that we're studying in this term. Yes, the context is now, it's today, but the fundamentals are timeless, so that years from now you still should be able to practice these fundamentals and figure out how the landscape is changing. So as we go through this material in this time period, remember the fundamentals so that as the law changes, you can still be a leader in business. I often get asked by students, what's the most important concept that I want you to learn in my courses? And here it is. I want you to see God through the language of business. Think about it like this. I believe when God created us in the first week of creation, as described in the first couple of chapters of Genesis in the Bible, he didn't just make the physical and science world around us. He also made us to be in relationships with each other. He created the boundaries and the rules for those relationships. He gave us the ability to have a skill or trade by which to work for him, to bring honor to his name, to do his work. And in doing that, we are provided for. The very basic elements of commerce, trade, law, and work are built into us, God ordained. In all of my courses, I want you to see God's great work around you and in you. So my end goal is for you to see yourself as a leader that God will use to build his kingdom. Bring him glory with your skills. Bet you didn't expect to hear that first time out, did you? Well, listen, I want to enable you to be a leader in the organization where you work. And understanding the fundamentals of business law is a big step towards that objective. Here are some things I want you to remember as we go. First, read the syllabus if you haven't already. The syllabus is like a contract or an agreement between us. It defines what I must do and what you must do to learn the material and to be successful. So please spend a few minutes reading that syllabus. Each week I'll post 2 videos for you to watch. The first video is a biblical devotional related to leadership or a biblical worldview. It's meant to encourage you. I will either do these devotionals myself and share them with you, or I'll find devotionals that other people have done and post them as well. My purpose is to integrate a biblical worldview into our leadership walk. It's a must if you're a believer in Jesus Christ. Now, the second video is a short mini lecture about what's coming up during the week. And sometimes, frankly, this will not be a video, but it's going to be a narrative, a typed format, a written format. Whether video or printed narrative, it's not going to be deep, okay? That comes from the text. But it's an overview to help guide you through the material for the week and give you a kind of a preview of what's coming up. Also, occasionally, I'll include a video, a news article, or a scholarly article that overlaps our course. These I like to engage you with extra materials that I think are, add more depth to the learning, helps you kind of like connect with the material with real world events going on today. Each week I'll hold virtual office hours using Zoom. Be sure to check out the how-to page and the syllabus for the details. You can find the Zoom link to my weekly virtual office hours in the course welcome module. I'll be logged into the Zoom meeting waiting for others to join in as needed. You don't have to. It's completely optional. And I can have multiple people in the meeting at the same time, so don't worry about scheduling a specific appointment with me. Just jump in. During those office hours, we can review and discuss whatever you'd like. And if I find that a few of you are not available during those hours, I might change them or do something more flexible. Regarding the pace of the class week begins on Monday and ends on Sunday. Pay close attention to the due dates for each weekly activity. If you can't meet a due date, reach out to me early and let me know what's going on. If you contact me before you miss a deadline, I'll probably be pretty gracious in extending the deadline if it sounds like it's needed. Don't do it too often to me though, okay? If you wait till after you miss a deadline, then you say I wasn't able to make it, I may not be as gracious. Finally, to help keep you focused, I am only releasing the course material 1 week at a time. I don't want you rushing forward in the material and missing the details of the current week. The week's material is released on Sunday at noon, just before the course week begins on Monday. All right, that's it. I'm excited to be working with you in this term and look forward to getting to know you better. Remember, God is on his throne. He's always been there and he's always going to be.